Hello and welcome back to the Built Different podcast with your host, Stephen Pettigrew. On today's solo episode, I wanted to go through something that I get asked quite a lot on social media, on LinkedIn, when I meet people in person, and it's what to do if you want to sell your business. What do you need to do to sell your business for a premium, for a life-changing sum of money? Now, the answer to that question is very, very detailed, so I'll try and go through some of the key things that any small business can do and do quickly, fairly quickly. So when a buyer is looking to acquire a business like ourselves at Monopoly, we look for some key fundamentals. So do you track your financials as number one? So if you're watching this and you're not tracking cash flow, your profit margins, you've not got monthly management accounts, you've not got any way of tracking the sales coming in, etc., etc., these are the types of things that you should get in place very quickly. And at Monopoly, we've got a 3-document system that we introduce straight away to businesses. And those 3 documents that work in tandem are cash flow forecast, sales forecast, and pricing document. So if you're looking to sell a business, a buyer's going to look to make sure you've got those in place because it provides clarity on what the history has been of the business. So what has been coming into the business, what kind of margin are you making, but also the future, which is the most important thing. A buyer wants to see certainty. They want to see systems in place that gives them the certainty that what they're buying or what they're investing in has got a future rather than looking at a previous. I'll give you a quick story on that. So there's a really nice chap I've been chatting to in Edinburgh recently. He's got a reasonably successful business and he wants to sell it. The problem is, however, the data, the information, the financial information that he's showed me is up to and including the end of May 2022. Now, that's fine from a historical perspective, but he can't provide me anything from now, which is, we're now in November 24. He can't provide any management accounts or even the last financial year accounts to tell me what's been happening since. And that's a problem because if you want to sell your business for any amount of money, a buyer wants to have certainty. I'm looking at that and thinking there's no certainty, there's no confidence that what you're telling me verbally is actually happening because his accountant actually hasn't provided any management accounts, hasn't provided them before, so he's paying for an accountant and a service that he's not actually getting. So very, very important to get those management accounts in place. Your accountant should be able to do it if you can't do it. Equally, we can help you with that through our different mentorship platforms we have at Monopoly. One of the other key drivers if you're looking to sell your business is you have to have a second-tier management team built around you. Now, that does take time, but if you have the right system, where you have the right people in the right seats on the right bus, then it's very possible. And you just have to make sure you're identifying the values of that person match with your values and your vision. And the reason that's important, again, as a buyer, if I want to buy a business and you are the business, you're the person that's driving the sales, you're picking up the phone, you're dealing with customer inquiries, you're responding to emails at 12 o'clock at night on a Saturday. If that's you, then that's not something that somebody is likely to invest in because you are the business. Without you, that business crumbles. It goes away. It doesn't have any systems. It doesn't have a second-tier management team. If you're the type of person listening to this where you can't go on holiday, and I mean, I was chatting to a guy recently who is down in Manchester. He's got a cabling business, pretty successful in the sense that he does quite a lot of sales, but he had to cut short his holiday. He was in Turkey for 2 weeks, and because he didn't have a management team or systems in place to run that business, he had to cut his 2-week holiday short by 1 week just to get back and deal with the fires that was being created in the business. So it's so important if you want to sell your business to create a management team around you. Other things that are important is to have predictable sales. Now, most businesses that we work with tend to work on a project basis, and that's fine as long as you have a pipeline of projects and you maybe have a blend of recurring revenue within there as well. It could be ongoing maintenance contracts that provide stability. But if you can demonstrate that your sales and marketing is consistent, you've got a strategy. So you're contacting customers through socials, you've got podcasts, you've got you've got email campaigns, you've got LinkedIn working, whatever the strategy is, if you can prove you've got a machine that's providing a return on your investment, that again provides massive certainty and confidence to a buyer when they look to buy your business. So without going into any more major detail, I could spend a lot of time on this. I've actually created a webinar which goes into a lot more detail on this. It's a 50-minute video, free to watch, so you can get a lot more information on this. But equally, if you want to get more and more information on this, feel free to reach out by sending me a message on LinkedIn. My handle is @StephenPettigrew_investor. And as always, guys, if you enjoy this type of content, share it with a friend and remember to hit the subscribe button. And I'll speak to you again very soon.